Hi, everyone. Jim Broyles here. I think we're all set up. So today, now, if everything's working right, this is live via Zoom and then also streaming to my Facebook group. And I do kind of want to make sure that that is working properly, but I believe it is. And if all is working right, then you can see my screen that says CBD versus Copaiba, because that's what we're going to be talking about today. We are going to be diving into the benefits of both CBD and Copaiba oil, how they're similar, how they're different, and how you can use them for your benefit. I am pulling up the Facebook on my screen. Yes, it looks like it's streaming the way it's supposed to. So awesome. So thank you guys for joining today. I'm really excited to be here with you and share some of this information with you. We're going to be covering a lot of good stuff. You may be joining with some opinions on CBD oil and maybe some opinions and experiences with Copaiba oil as well. You may feel more attracted to one over the other, which is totally fine. But I am here to discuss both options with you and how both of them can be potentially beneficial for you. So let's go ahead and dive in. All right. So again, I'm Jen Broyles, and I'm a certified holistic health and nutrition coach, an essential oils educator, and I love researching and learning the latest and greatest in the world of natural health. And with that said, we all know that CBD has become very popular lately, and a lot of people are getting tons of benefit from it. So I do just want to say that I am not here to promote one over the other. If we're comparing two different options that work on the same in the body in similar ways. And I'm here to provide you education and information for you to determine which option is best for you. And maybe both of them are, right? So I think trial and error is great, but also knowing that you're getting a quality product, whatever you choose to try. Okay. And so I'm not here to say, yes, CBD is the way to go. I'm not here to say, yes, Copaiba is the way to go. I'm here to say, if you want to try one of these, here's what to look for. Here's how it works in the body. Here's how it can benefit you. And then you make your own choice. Okay. Because as a health coach, I like to have, kind of a toolkit of options for clients, because we know that we're not all the same. What works for you may not work for me, and vice versa. So it's nice to have a few different options that can potentially support you in the way that you need it. And the goal of the class today is to discuss the differences between CBD oil and Copaiba essential oil, so you can make the best decision for you. And we're going to start with CBD oil. And I would love for any of you that are on, either if you're on Zoom or if you're on watching through the Facebook group, if you've had experience with either of these oils for a particular health ailment, or a certain way that you're wanting support with your health, and you've had some good experiences, I'd love for you to share that, and just hear stories. And so if you have experiences with CBD oil or with Copaiba oil that have been beneficial for you, please share either in the Facebook comments or in the chat box on Zoom. So let's dive into CBD. Okay. We hear that everywhere. We're starting to see it everywhere. I live in Dallas, Texas, where a lot of CBD stores are starting to pop up on every corner, right? And so again, when something becomes popular or trendy, you're going to see it starting to show up a lot of different places. And we'll talk about quality, because that's one of the big issues with a lot of things in the natural health world, supplements, essential oils, CBD oil, all of that, is that you really have to do your research and find products and brands that are high quality if you want the benefit without potential side effects, right? So the term CBD is short for cannabidiol, which is a naturally occurring chemical compound from the cannabis plant. And its cousin, tetrahydrocannabidiol, also known as THC, is different. So CBD is not psychoactive, whereas THC does have some psychoactive components. And CBD is often taken to impart a feeling of relaxation and calm without those psychoactive effects. Now, cannabinoids are produced naturally in our body, and cannabinoids that are produced in our body naturally are called endocannabinoids. And then cannabinoids that come from outside of our body in the form of plants, such as CBD, are called phytocannabinoids. And a cannabinoid is anything that triggers your endocannabinoid system, or the ECS. So it is an entire system in your body. And so, what exactly is the endocannabinoid system? Well, the ECS plays an important role in regulating many functions within your body, including inflammatory response, immune function, sleep, appetite, digestion, pain receptors, hormones, reproductive function, and memory. And your body makes endocannabinoids as needed to help with regulating all of these different functions. And the endocannabinoids in your body activate certain cannabinoid receptors. So there is cannabinoid receptor 1, also known as CB1, and cannabinoid receptor 2, known as CB2 receptors. And CB1 receptors are found mainly in the brain and throughout the central nervous system, and they're primarily associated with pleasure and reward pathways. And then CB2 receptors are found mainly in the immune system, and they are found on the surface of white blood cells throughout the body, including muscles, skin, vital organs. And CB2 receptors are also linked to the regulation of the inflammatory system. They're not as widely distributed throughout the body as CB1 receptors, but I just want to give you kind of a brief explanation of both. Okay, and before we discuss the benefits of cannabinoids, it is important to understand how they work in the body. And for this, we turn to the ECS, the endocannabinoid system. So, as I said, it plays a vital role in regulating many functions within your body. And endocannabinoids made by the body will activate those CB1 and CB2 receptors. Okay, and that's kind of how things function within that endocannabinoid system, and how a cannabinoid can impact your ECS, whether it's an endocannabinoid produced by the body or potentially a phytocannabinoid that comes from a plant. So when we look at CBD, so CBD comes from the cannabis plant. It directly impacts or directly interacts with CB1 and CB2 receptors. But there is some evidence suggesting that this interaction is pretty weak and potentially inconsequential. Now, that doesn't mean it doesn't work, right? Despite this weak interaction, CBD does still affect your endocannabinoid system indirectly by a different mechanism. Okay, so let's talk about that. So it has more of an indirect effect on the receptors rather than a direct impact. But it can still provide the benefits that you're looking for. So CBD acts on an enzyme called fatty acid amide hydrolase, FAAH. And FAAH breaks down anandamide in the body. So CBD slows down FAAH's activity, which leads to increased levels of anandamide in the body. And so you might be wondering what anandamide is. So just an example, if you are a runner, perhaps you've felt that, famous runner's high, right? And you can thank your endocannabinoid system for that. So after a period of strenuous exercise, the body begins to produce an endocannabinoid called anandamide. Okay. And anandamide activates both CB1 and CB2 receptors. And when anandamide activates CB1 receptors, it produces this euphoric feeling, while the activation of CB2 receptors helps soothe discomfort in the muscles and joints. So that's really how CBD works in the body, is by increasing levels of that endocannabinoid known as anandamide in the body. Okay. And when we look at receptor activity, this is one of the most significant distinctions between CBD and Copaiba essential oil. So while CBD has that indirect effect on the body by actually increasing an endocannabinoid, Copaiba oil has more of a direct effect. And because essential oils have a complete plant chemistry, they have direct receptor activity. So this means that the interaction between Copaiba essential oil and your cannabinoid receptors is not dependent on any other mechanism. That direct action triggers a rapid and immediate response. So we've covered a lot of kind of physiological stuff. And so let's dive in to Copaiba oil and how that works in the body, okay? And what it is in the first place. So most of us know kind of what CBD oil is and that it comes from the cannabis plant, but not everyone has heard of Copaiba oil. And so let's just do a quick history on that. So Copaiba essential oil comes from a fragrant tropical tree native to South America. And I'm talking specifically about doTERRA Copaiba oil because just like with anything else, with CBD oil, with supplements, all of that, quality varies. And so we're talking specifically doTERRA Copaiba oil here, because we know how much of a phytocannabinoid it is. Because again, quality is going to vary in terms of how much phytocannabinoids are actually in an oil. So doTERRA Copaiba oil goes through stringent testing to produce a certified pure therapeutic grade product. And we'll talk more about that later. But when we look at Copaiba in general, it comes from a large towering tree that grows in tropical rainforests of South America. And for hundreds of years, traditional healers in northern Brazil have used Copaiba trees for the health benefits. And Copaiba essential oil is steam distilled from the resin of these trees. Now, before we get to the benefits, let's talk about other aspects of CBD that you may want to consider when you're considering taking CBD oil as a therapeutic agent. And of course, it's easy to get swept up in the current trend of CBD because it's touted for its benefits in everything from dog treats to gummies, you name it. It's in a lot of different things these days. It's in skincare, it's in all kinds of stuff. But we know that more research is needed. The reason research on CBD oil is lagging is due to legal and research limitations. And this is kind of the problem with something being illegal for so long. You just can't do adequate funded research on it. There's a lot of medicinal plants out there that are currently illegal, and unfortunately the research is limited on them because of the restrictions on the legality of it. And so honestly, like from my point of view, it'll be nice when a lot of this is legalized, because then we can do more and more research. So things are starting to change in our society now, where CBD oil is now legal for the most part. We'll talk about that. In certain states, marijuana is legal. In certain states, even other plant medicine options like psilocybin has been decriminalized in Colorado. So things are starting to shift. And while we know from experimental use, there's a lot of potential health benefits with these plants, there's not the research yet, or at least not a lot of it, to back it up and really know dosing recommendations and uses and benefits. So more research is needed, and I think that will continue to grow, which is wonderful. And currently the FDA acknowledges when it comes to the CBD oil out there on the market now, that some companies are marketing products containing cannabis and cannabis derived compounds in ways that violate the FD&C Act and that may actually put the health and safety of consumers at risk. The health benefit claims may be premature and potentially need more scientific backing. But again, it all comes back to quality as well. You need to know what is in the product that you're taking and how much CBD oil is actually in it. And oftentimes we're finding now that what's on the label isn't necessarily what's truly in the bottle. We see that with essential oils too. So it really is one of those things where you have to do your research and know what you're getting. When we talk about the legality, I kind of covered a little bit of that, but it's very complex and kind of confusing in my opinion. The 2018 Act did not remove the FDA's authority to regulate products containing cannabis or cannabis-derived compounds under the Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act and the Public Health Service Act. So this means that any product containing cannabis or cannabis compounds such as CBD is still subject to the same laws as any other drug or dietary supplement. So that includes CBD oil. And any product containing CBD, regardless of the THC content, cannot currently be sold as a dietary supplement. And so this is because FDA has not approved THC or CBD under the FD&C Act. And FD&C is the Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act. But again, things are continually changing, and eventually those things will be taken care of, I'm sure. Now, again, as confusing as the legality of it all is, it boils down to this. So if CBD comes from the hemp plant with less than 0.3% THC, you can buy it under federal law. But some states still have legal restrictions on the possession of CBD. So you really need to know what the laws are in your state. So again, I mentioned that I live in Dallas and we've got CBD stores popping up all over the place. Other places like California, Colorado, all of that is fully legal now, even marijuana. So it's different in every state. So just know what your state's laws are. Of course, there's numerous benefits to taking CBD oil. Many people swear it's helped with a number of health conditions, everything from back pain to osteoarthritis, anxiety, and even cancer. But currently, the only approved health use of CBD is anti-seizure medications, even though we know it has other health benefits. And as of right now, studies are currently underway to understand the other potential benefits of CBD oil. So again, you can purchase CBD containing items most places these days. There's no guarantee that what you're getting is what's on the label. Okay, so that's where it comes to really doing your research and knowing and trusting the brand that you're using. Okay, so when it comes to verifying product purity, third-party testing is always best. I highly recommend that with essential oils as well. However, this is not required by companies to do third-party testing, and many products may skip paying the fees to ensure the products are pure. So this is a concern. In fact, there was a study in a 2017 Journal of American Medical Association that tested 84 CBD products and found that 26% of them contain lower doses than stated on the bottle. So again, knowing what you're getting is really important. There's a lot of confusion regarding dosing, again, because there's not set standards and guidelines out there and studies done to look at dosing. So how much to take and how often is really up to you as the user, because currently CBD is only approved for treating seizures. So we don't have really good dosing recommendations for it. So it really, at this point, all comes down to guesswork and trial and error to find the right amount for you that is going to offer benefits. So just knowing that, I've heard some people say that, if you don't notice a benefit when you first start taking CBD oil, that you need to kind of take a high dose to really like kind of activate the endocannabinoid system to start receiving it. I don't know if that's true. I don't have enough experience with CBD oil. I've tried a few different ones. Um, but but again, it's kind of playing around with dosing to know like how much you need to take for a specific ailment, the right form. Is it in, a tincture or a soft gel, or or a topical application like a balm. So kind of playing around with different ones is going to be the kind of the best thing to do at this point in time. And then just doing your research on the quality of the brand that you choose to use. To get a real good quality pure CBD oil that has the right amount of CBD oil in it, to be an effective dose, you are going to pay more for it. Now, when we look at Copaiba oil, so we've got kind of an understanding of CBD. Let's look at Copaiba oil and how it's a little bit different but similar at the same time. So we've already covered that Copaiba oil comes from a tropical tree in South America, and it works directly on your cannabinoid receptors. So let's first, before we talk about the benefits, let's take a moment to really understand essential oils. So essential oils, if you haven't used them before or you're not familiar with them, they are highly concentrated compounds that come from plants. Okay, so it's another form of plant medicine. And essential oils are what actually give plants its aroma and protect the plant from the harsh environment conditions and insects, and even play a part in plant pollination. So essential oil use has been a long time tradition that started centuries ago in civilizations all over the world. And now, with advancing technology and improved quality, potency, and safety, essential oils are more accessible and easy to use in everyday life. And the good thing about essential oils is that we have increasing scientific evidence and research to show the effectiveness and safe nature of essential oils. Of course, there's still more research to be done. Research is a little more difficult with natural products because there's not a whole lot of money in it from a pharmaceutical standpoint. You can't patent plants. The only thing you can do is make a synthetic version of a plant and create a pharmaceutical out of it. So when it comes to natural options, the studies aren't as widely funded, for that reason. But there have been numerous studies done on essential oils to date. A variety of essential oils showing the medicinal benefits of them. And of course, just like with CBD oil, it's important to note that not all essential oils are created equal either. The exact process for producing an essential oil will vary on the type of plant that the oil comes from, but the basic idea is that plants go through a specific distillation process. And essential oils reside in different parts of a plant, often in microscopic amounts. So during the distillation process, um, the the distillation technique will separate the oil from its original plant part. For example, when citrus oils are produced, the distillation technique is used to separate the oil from the fruit's rind. Okay, so that's usually a cold pressing distillation to separate the oil from the rind of the fruit. And the purity of an oil can change depending on geographic location, distillation methods, weather, and other factors. So, no matter how well a plant is selected, cared for, or harvested, the quality of essential oils can either be preserved or destroyed during the distillation process. And because of the attention to detail and precision necessary at distillation, it becomes less of a process and more of an art form to properly distill an oil. Distillers have to be precise and pay careful attention to harvesting methods, temperatures, the time of distillation, and the amount of pressure used. Some plants require distillation like in a very short time period after it's been harvested. Otherwise, all of the therapeutic properties will go away. So timing, temperature, everything goes into play when distilling an essential oil and maintaining the integrity of that oil and all of its therapeutic compounds. So when purchasing essential oils, just like CBD oil, purity should be a significant concern. An essential oil that isn't pure means you run the risk of putting toxins, germs, heavy metals, or other adulterants onto or in your body, which can contribute to an irritation, adverse effects, or even illness. So doTERRA specifically, the reason I use them and trust them is because they take purity very seriously. And doTERRA has its own testing process called Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade, because again, just like with CBD oil and supplements, there's just no regulation around the labeling of an oil and the things that it can contain and what has to be on the label. So Certified Pure Therapeutic process certifies that there's no added fillers, no synthetic ingredients or harmful contaminants, and that you're getting a truly pure medicinal grade oil. And then we also put all essential oils and essential oil based products through a battery of tests to ensure long and effective shelf life. So we do third-party testing, we do our own testing, and through all of this protocol ensures potency, purity, consistency from batch to batch. So you're getting the same quality oil time after time after time. And so let's get back to Copaiba oil and talk about the benefits of it. So Copaiba oil supports the health of the cardiovascular system, nervous system, digestive system, immune system, and respiratory system. And so the phytocannabinoid in Copaiba oil, the main constituent of Copaiba oil, is called beta-caryophyllene. Okay, so that is a phytocannabinoid. It's also present in black pepper essential oil, and it helps soothe anxious feelings. And in addition to the emotional benefits, beta-caryophyllene, also known as BCP, promotes healthy nervous system, healthy cardiovascular system, and immune system function. And the oil also contains powerful antioxidants to boost immune health. So we know through testing using GCMS analysis that doTERRA's Copaiba oil has about 55% BCP content, which is the highest beta-caryophyllene content of any known oil. And we know that BCP activates CB2 receptors directly. So this means that you can have confidence and assurance in BCP's ability to interact with your endocannabinoid system. And knowing exactly how beta-caryophyllene triggers the endocannabinoid system by directly activating CB2 receptors, we're able to collect pretty reliable information about dosing and effects, which is really helpful when you're wanting to use something therapeutically. Again, we source this oil from Brazil, from 4 species of the Copaiba tree. And by harnessing the benefits of the most potent Copaiba species, a maximum potency essential oil is obtained. Okay, and the oil is very pleasant. It's a little spicy and woody. It, again, is great for calming emotions, soothing anxious feelings. It's a wonderful oil to turn to at the end of a stressful day. It's great to use topically for any sort of discomfort that you might be experiencing, joint discomfort, muscle discomfort, overexcited tissues, things like that. So let's talk about how to use it. So diffusing Copaiba oil is a great way for the emotional support. So diffusing or inhaling is going to give you that relaxing and soothing benefit. You can just put a few drops in a diffuser for emotional support. Using it topically is wonderful for a beautifying effect that it offers for the skin. It's widely used in cosmetics, and it helps promote a clear, smooth complexion. It's also an oil that combines well with cedar wood to really soothe and calm the skin. You can add a drop of oil, copaiba oil, to your moisturizer to help keep the skin clear, reduce the appearance of blemishes. And then using it internally has a lot of amazing benefits. If you want to improve cellular support, take a drop or two internally and do it under your tongue. You can also take it along with frankincense. For digestive support, take it at mealtime and maybe even combine it with peppermint essential oil. You can also add 1 to 2 drops of copaiba oil to water, juice, or tea to support healthy cardiovascular system, immune system, digestive, nervous, and respiratory system. And as mentioned earlier, it provides antioxidant support as well when it's ingested. So 1 to 2 drops of copaiba oil under the tongue is great as part of your daily health regimen. So I mentioned that we do have some research on dosing as well. So currently researched BCP dosage amounts are as follows. Okay. So to reduce discomfort, 5 milligrams for healthy inflammatory response in the digestive system, 25 milligrams, elevated mood, 50 milligrams, to reduce sad and anxious feelings, it's 100 milligrams, and to promote healthy glycoprotein levels in the blood, 200 milligrams. And 1 drop of copaiba essential oil, you're getting 45 milligrams of the BCP. All right, so I know I shared a ton of information today. So here are key factors to remember when you're comparing CBD oil to copaiba essential oil. And I don't even necessarily like one over the other. Again, I think you have to try it because we are all individuals. You have to find what works for you. And some people find that using both of them together gives them the most benefit. So it's not like one is better than the other. They both work on your endocannabinoid system, but in very different ways. And so you really need to find what works best for you. And it may be a combination of both. So CBD oil is relatively new compared to essential oil use. The uses of CBD oil are promising, but we do still need more research, which is currently underway. So that's really exciting. Copaiba oil works directly on the cannabinoid receptors, whereas CBD oil uses other mechanisms to increase that anandamide in the body. doTERRA's Copaiba oil goes through stringent process to ensure the highest quality and purity. So if you're looking for an essential oil, I definitely recommend doTERRA. If you're looking for a CBD oil, I encourage you to do your research and find, an equivalent brand that kind of does the same stringent testing that doTERRA does. Okay. There's currently no standard for purity or potency for CBD oil or even generic essential oil brands. So again, knowing what you're getting, doing your research, and then kind of trial and error and finding what works best for you. So thank you for joining me today. When it comes to health and wellness, there's a lot of options to choose from, but my advice before taking anything making health claims, it's important to understand the science behind the product and to do your research on what that particular brand is doing to ensure that they are delivering the best quality to you. Okay, so when it comes to essential oils, doTERRA is the company I personally use and trust. And so if you have any questions about that, I'm happy to answer them for you. If you have any questions regarding any of this information, please share it in the chat box through Zoom or post it in the comments on Facebook. Let's see. I'm going to look at one comment we've got here. Okay, so I'm glad that you guys are loving the content. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will mention to any of you that are either currently using doTERRA or thinking about using doTERRA essential oils, we do have a really cool promotion this month where you can get Copaiba oil for free. Okay, so if you're a current customer, if you place a 200 PV order this month, any type of order is fine. You're going to get the Copaiba soft gels, which is Copaiba oil in a soft gel that you can take as a supplement. You're also going to get a free bottle, 15 milliliter bottle of the pure Copaiba oil that you can use, you know, topically, aromatically, and also internally. So you'll get those two for free this month with a 200 PV order. If you're not currently a wholesale customer with doTERRA, it's a great time to become a wholesale customer. And I'll include a link in the Facebook group on how to make that happen. What I recommend is getting our most popular starter kit of oils. It comes with our top 10 oils for everyday use, along with a really great diffuser. And when you get that starter kit this month, you're automatically going to get a free Copaiba oil and free Copaiba soft gels, along with a free bottle of yellow mandarin, which is not a standard oil that we have. So it's only part of this promotion. So really exciting stuff to get 3 products for free. 2 of them are Copaiba. So if you watch this today and you're like, yes, I want to try Copaiba, it sounds amazing, then it's a great month to try it out for free by getting your order in through doTERRA. So thank you guys again. And I look forward to talking to you very soon. All right. Bye.